Today, I'm talking to you about a game called Peak, and it is a very simple game that has changed my life. Now look, I'm a casual gamer. I'm assuming maybe you're a casual gamer. This is a PC game. It's not available on Switch, on Xbox, or PlayStation, anything like that. Only on PC. And I recently heard about it, had to try it with my friends. I'm going to tell you exactly why and what you need to know about it. The game Peak saw an initial release as part of a game jam back in February of 2025, and since then came out as a full game in June of 2025. I've heard some people refer to Peak as what might be considered friend slap, which is one of those games, something like Castle Crashers, where everybody hops on and there's not really a whole lot of plot or story. It's just a repeating thing that you do over and over and over again, a lot like life, but you get to do it with friends. And is that such a bad thing? I call them co-op games or party games. Why do some people hate fun, life, love, and the internet? Couldn't tell you. Get your butt out of the mud. Get that stick out of your foot. You got a hole up your butt, bud. Calm down. Now, when I first discovered this game, I heard about it through these little clips going around social media on my Instagram feed one night while I was probably pooping, lying on the toilet, and Pete came across my feed, and these little round-faced men, can I say that? I'm gonna say it. I think that's fine. I'm sorry. These little round-faced men popped up, walking up this mountain. It was described to me as this game where not really about anything, but you really just hike with your friends. And I'm like, that sounds fun. I need an excuse to get my friends from across the world onto this one game. So I downloaded it. It sat on my computer dormant for a while because I wasn't really motivated to try it. One day I finally got on with two of my friends. Glorious experience. Shut up, listen. This game feels a lot like that one time you went hiking with a friend and they're like, oh, it's right around the corner. It should take like 30 minutes. You wind up being stuck for 3 hours, and on the way back, the sun is setting. You don't have a flashlight. You're all out of water. There's nobody else on the mountain. And you sing songs the whole way to cope with the fact that you're probably going to die on the way down. A bear will eat you, or a man smoking a cigarette's going to put it out in one of your eyes, drag you into the woods and eat you, chop you up and eat you. Man, I miss Washington State. But when I first played this game, as somebody who has a lot of friends from across the world, this game has been absolutely perfect for me, bro. Lonnie, why does this matter? Lonnie, why does this game matter? Lonnie, why are we talking about Pete? Lonnie, what's Pete got to do with anything? Bobby, what does Pete have to do with the gaming industry? Why are we talking about it on this video? Boo, boo, boo. Aggro Crab is a company that released Peak and also released a game called Another Crab's Treasure. Peak surpassed 100,000 downloads within the first 24 hours, which is insane. And within the first week, it had surpassed 1 million downloads. And in the first month, it surpassed 5 million downloads. And by mid-August of 2025, it had sold over 10 million copies. Another thing I love about this game is that the company Aggro Crag makes these funny little videos in-game describing new updates, features, bug fixes, and things like that while the game is being fixed and tweaked and developed, all that yada other stuff. I don't know what the word is, while the game is being debugged. The game received insane critical reception, some people calling it the best friendship game they've ever played. Now look, why is this showing up now? Why is this game so popular now? What's going on? Look, I have a background in human factor psychology, I have my master's in business administration, and that's a perspective I can give. I'm also a casual gamer, and I also make content on social media around the clock, so I understand social trends, and I will do my best to break down why I think this game has had so much popularity from my personal perspective. First things first, you take a game like this in a time like this where previously we had COVID lock us all inside and force us to play anything together. There was a time when I sat around playing nothing but Super Smash Brothers online, gambling with my friends. If that's illegal, I never said it, but we would stay up from midnight to 2 a.m. every night, gambling $5 match to match to match. And I realized that in this time of COVID, we're all just looking for some way to connect with each other. And as the world has started to heal since then, I think things have largely gone back to normal, but it also did something to us where we realized, like, life can be very connected at a distance. And in the real world, we tend to have trouble finding that connection, but online, we can. There's a sexier way to say that, and I'll say it as we go along. I'll figure it out. But I believe this is showing up right now because people have a desperate need to do something with their friends. And the fun thing is, I think you have two groups of friends, right? You have some friends who started off together, like me and my friend group. We were together in college, and everybody went their separate ways. I haven't seen most of them in years. But whenever we hop on this game, we all come together. We get to play around, do nothing, talk about nothing, make brand new memories with each other, and it's tons of fun. Then you have the other friend group of people who've never met each other before, but this is just another way to continue to build that bond with people who might be more of your people than the ones who are in your immediate physical vicinity. And I believe that that's one of the reasons this game is taking off so well. One of the simple mechanics of this game is that you don't have to know anything about gaming to enjoy it. You literally need like 3 buttons, maybe 5 buttons. Simply climb, move towards the top. Just Move towards the top. That is the whole game. That is all you have to do. Anybody can pick it up. I can play with my little sister who lives across the country. I can play with my younger brother who lives on the other side of the country. I don't know why I'm lying. They both live in the same house across the country. I just want to sound dramatic. And anybody can hop on and understand the premise. And I play games like Repo. Repo's another great, simple friend swap, as they call it, or co-op. Funny enough, the thing that they both have is very cute characters. A lot of customization. It's very easy to meme and make clips out of it. I think that's very smart on both the developers' part. But something Repo does is that it's a horror game. And if you're scared of horror, don't want to be scared for hours on end and scream for hours on end, you don't have to do that with a game like Peak. It's visuals, it's coloring, all inspired this like feeling of like we're doing this together. It's fun, and there is a scary surprise in the game if you do something wrong and don't follow the rules. But for the most part, it's just a very fun time with tons of memeable, clippable, hilarious moments. And in this economy where games have to be promoted by clips and having funny moments that can be shared, just like Twitch streamers, you have to make clips. And a lot of people don't like it, but that's just the way it works now. And this game is very clippable. The characters are fun, cute, customizable. You can do a little bit of role playing, stuff like that. Some of my friends pretend to be the leader of the camp. We'll give each other like trail names and stuff like that. And there's always like a troublemaker or something like that. But it makes for very fun, easy, visually stunning, visually beautiful, visually easy to take in clippable moments that I think really work for this game in its favor in terms of getting it to like spread out. And I think that's why it's getting so popular right now. Another great concept about the game is that they switch up the levels every single day. Every day the maps change, they're randomly generated. So from day to day, you'll never have the exact same climbing experience with your friends, which means you can play the game over and over again and beat it, but it'll always be different, require different challenges in your brain, which is another very fun element in this game. I feel like the thing that this says about us as a society, like we have a desire to do anything together, man. Life is so made up. Like, and I don't mean that in like a stoicism way or a really lame way. I just mean that in the sense of like, we just need something to do together. Minecraft has been that for a lot of gamers for a long time. It's really been that for me and my family, my little siblings. We just build. We hop on for an hour or so and just build. And now we can walk together. We just yearn to walk and build. Put us back out into the woods. Society yearns for the woods. We wish to build things from scratch as long as we have air conditioning. And we wish to climb to the top of a mountain as long as we can be revived when we fall off. I mean, especially as a guy, this gives me a very simple way to just like laugh, fool, and goof off with my friends over nothing. And we also get to make new memories that have a sense of success when we actually make it up that goddamn peak. When you ask yourself, okay, Lonnie, it feels like this game's for everybody, okay? Who's this game not for? Who's excluded from this? You know? And I think the people who would be excluded from this game are people who are like die-hard story mode type of people, or people with no friends. The people who are like,
this is friend slop. I'm disgusted by this. All you people do is have fun with each other and make new memories.
This is probably not for you. However, if you're a person who has friends who kind of game just to stay together and spend time together, this is a perfect game. This game is beautiful. And sure, you're probably not gonna play for 24 hours a day, but to hop on once a day or once every other day and beat that new level with your friends and just catch up and talk while you're climbing aimlessly, maybe dropping in front of the mountain, this is for you. This is what you need. Like, you just haven't known what to play with the boys or get your friends together at your Discord server. This is the game that lets you do that. The moment I realized the dynamics of this game, there's immediately factors of trust, there's resource management, there's a time element that makes it very, very fun. Like, me and my buddies are hopping on here, we're racing against the clock because there's an element of the fog that starts rising as you climb the mountain. If you're going too slow, it becomes a race against time. So you can't take all day to figure out which path you gotta go on. And I'm starting to find like, oh, I actually gotta develop my leadership skills here. Who's gonna be point leader? Who's gonna be leading the troop? Who's gonna pick the direction that we go up on the mountain? And who's going to carry the bags? Everybody has a role. Someone has to carry the food. And then that person who's carrying the food cannot climb as fast or as high. So they need help from somebody else to lift them up. And you save energy that way as well. It really drives home this whole concept of teamwork, which brings up the other side of things whenever people do not work as a team. One of my other experiences playing this game, I brought one of my rogue friends on. He's the type of friend who makes it a good time for everybody, but also sometimes just like to run off on their own and do their own thing because that's what they like to do, right? There's that friend who's like, I don't need you guys. Like, watch me, I'm the king of Iraq. That kind of a friend, right? As I mentioned before, there's a little secret, a little spooky secret of the game, right? Whenever you first start the game, you'll land on a beach and there's a notebook that you'll find with some instructions. Like, it'll give you the basic rundown of the game, some rules. You don't need to take the notebook with you. If you read it, you'll find out everything you need to know. It also mentions do not climb alone, or something like do not leave your team behind. And my buddy, the first time we played, he's like, poppycock, hogwash, boulder dash. And he goes and leaves us. We can't even find him. Also, it's proximity chat. So that means if he goes too far, we don't know where he's at. We can't hear him. We just see him maybe intermittently up on different parts of the mountain. Like, oh, there he is, George. He's up there. George, there he is. That kind of beat, right? Like, you don't know where they're at if they get too far away. So it also really reemphasizes this thing of like, hey, this is a teamwork game, stay together. My boy, however, decides, I got this. First time playing the game. We can't find him anywhere. And so we're like, I don't know where he went, but we're gonna stay together, right, guys? Because that's the power of friendship. And friends always make it to the peak. So we start walking. We're climbing up, we're taking our time. We hear shrieks of horror. Now, where is that coming from? Why is that happening? Next thing I know, I see my friend flying down the side of the mountain behind us. And because it's proximity chat, you just hear, nice little Doppler effect thing happened there. It was sick. It was very fun. And the reason this is so cool is because as somebody who just wants a reason and a way to connect with their friends and family, no matter where I am in the world, this game felt like another one of those moments where you can almost like touch these people you miss, you know? And it does have this weird like 360 type of thing that also makes it very palpable or like feelable. Even the visuals make it feel like you're in the game. The eyes move around, the mouth moves whenever you talk, so it does kind of feel like these people are like the proxies of your friends and family, and it's kind of cool. And I mean, if there was a VR version, I'm sure we'd all throw up, because when you fall off that mountain or slip and fall to your death, you get a little dizzy. Kind of like an Apex Legend when you jump out of the ship, it's like, oh, my stomach drops a little bit. Kind of a similar feeling to that. And there's that moment where when you start the game, you see the mountain slowly reveal itself, and it's like, oh, we gotta get up there, which is crazy because it's a lot like life sometimes, you know? It's like, how are we going to summit this thing? How are we get over it? And I realized, I'm like, oh, dang. Bro, it's a metaphor for life. Personally, I have this moment going on in my world right now where it's like, how are we supposed to do this? This looks insurmountable. But whenever you're playing that game and you're just going rock by rock, don't look back, don't look down, help your friends up, man. Like, I'm gonna get emotional. Help your friends up, laugh the whole way, dodge the dynamite, like try to stay out of the sun when you're burning alive, stay out of the cold, huddle together, laugh at your friends slipping and falling, like have your friends boost you up. It's like, that's all life is, isn't it? Like, that's what it is. Some people don't see it that way. Some people don't feel that way. And I don't even completely feel that that's all life always is. But it is entirely what we decide to make it together, right? And I think this game can really improve or get worse depending on who you decide to play it with, you know? And I think play is always the ultimate way to get to know somebody. And so this is just a great way to build those relationships, build trust, and have fun. Like, it's a beautiful game. The music is pretty fun to listen to as well. And also, it makes you actually have to listen to your friends. Like, it's very hard to play this game without talking to each other. When I reach the peak, it makes me feel like I summited Mount Everest. Because some of the jumps and some of the ways you gotta figure out this game, you really do feel like, oh yeah, Everest would be easier than this. Because the game, all this stuff is randomly generated. So it's not like it's always built or set up in a way for you to find an easy path. You really just gotta trust yourself, make a path, and sometimes like, oh, what item do I use here? There's no answer. You just gotta pick. You gotta pick an item. And that's life, man. Like, sometimes there's not a path. If you're lucky enough to be in a career, profession, or space in the world, ecosystem or an economic system where there's a path, that's great. But there's not always a path. Sometimes you really just gotta jump onto the ledge, stab something into the wall, and hang on for dear life, and hope you can climb to the next part through some means of a little glitch or a weird, barely there ledge. And then, if you're lucky, you have a friend to help you up, or a friend behind you that you can help up. Never climb by yourself if you can help it. That's for goddamn sure. It's funny because Peak is an experience that I want to share with like people I care about. As kids, we play on the playground, you know, and this feels like another way to play on the playground even as adults, which I think is interesting and a special thing to like hold on to. How many spaces in life do you find where you can play like a kid? Like, you're all stupid little blob men, bro. Like, don't take yourself so seriously, just like play. If you want to throw your friend off the mountain and finish the level without him, you can do that. It's not encouraged, but you can do that, and they're not gonna get hurt. If you wanna throw a coconut at your friend while they're trying to like pull themselves up a ledge on their final dose of energy, you can do that. When I play with my friends, we usually don't make it up, and I would gladly do it again every single time. What does this teach us about the systems and human behavior? For one, I did mention that one of the reasons I think this game really works is because of how freaking simple it is. The rule book is literally like 6 pictures. Go to the top, have some food, and if your health bar gets all the way down, you die. It is that simple. And anybody can play it. Also, it's marketed very well, right? You have these cute little guys whose mouths move when you talk. You see people falling and they go through the Doppler effect as they hit the ground and they bounce around. You can carry your friends at the mountain or you can choose to leave them. It also highlights the importance of choice in your friend groups. It's a simple game, but I've heard someone say that story without conflict or choice is like music with no sound. Like, you don't have a story if you don't have a choice. And some of the choices this game presents you with is like, how much are you gonna carry with yourself if you have a limited amount of slots, right? And it also presents you with the choice of like, do you wanna bring your friend up the mountain since they just like didn't eat enough food and passed out or slipped and broke their leg? You can heal them when you get to the top, or maybe you'll find a pack, but you're taking on a lot of extra weight by carrying your friend. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. I've had games where I finished without my friends, and like they don't get the accomplishment of finishing the game. Like they literally do not give you the achievement if you do not finish with your friends. So it's like, do you bring him with you? I had a friend fall and slip and die on the last level, and it was hilarious, and we did not revive him. I think the other interesting factor is to look at the systems that support this game. They have a very unique way of making this game successful, and successful in a sense of like financially profitable and viable, but also in the way that I just want to keep on playing it. This game takes about an hour and a half to complete, maybe 2 hours if you're really slow. But typically the way it works is that the fog will catch you if you go too slow, so each game usually winds up running about 2 hours or so. Oh, the other great thing about this game is that recently they released a new update where they swapped out one of the peaks. Every game you play, you'll go through about 4 peaks. So you never really know what you're gonna get when you start climbing with friends, and I hope they keep on adding different biomes, so that way it's always a random assortment. You don't know what you're gonna get, but you know you're gonna have to spend a hard time climbing with your friends. Now, here's the thing. I think we need more games like this. I love this concept. It's simple, it's not advanced. It feels like a Mario Party minigame if it was blown out into an entire 2-hour experience. Some people complain there's no Dark Souls or like, where's the lore? It doesn't need It's got a good team behind it helping with the development, listening to players. They're actually in the comment section seeing what people want, responding to it. They've even added in some funny little mischievous things that don't mean anything, like a random player that'll pop up in the distance and just watch you. Someone's live streaming early on in the early playtest of the game. They would tap into the game and speak to the players through one of the inanimate objects in the game. It was really sick. And personally, I think a game is always gonna only be as successful as its development team. If the team is only money hungry or doesn't care about their community, you're gonna see that. And I think you're gonna see that with bigger games. Like I played things like Marvel Rivals. They do a pretty good job of listening to their community from what I've seen. But a game like Peak with Aggro Crab making videos in game, talking about random little things they threw in for fun, adding in these Easter eggs for players, commenting back to players saying, okay, you guys want cannibalism? We added cannibalism. What? That's insane. But it makes it such a better game and such a better experience, and it makes me want to be involved more because I know if I say something, they're going to listen, they're going to hear, they're going to add it in. Now look, in summary, I think Peak is a very simple game. I think it was, maybe $10? It's a banana, Michael. How much could it cost? $12? But it has given us so much value as gamers, and it's given my friend group personally another way to reconnect. I'm talking to friends I haven't talked to in forever, making new memories with friends I haven't made in forever. The Discord is back alive again thanks to the game Peak. It's so simple, it's so easy, and yeah, games like Repo, which maybe I'll talk about next, are also great, but there's something about Peak that does it differently and does exactly what's needed. Each game is simple, it's easy, my heart rate's not gonna go up that much, I can make it as intense or as simple as I want, and they've really stumbled onto some gold here. And the gold is that we just get to spend time with our people again. Whenever we were in COVID, we had to do stuff like this. We couldn't go on a real hike, and now we can. I can go on a real hike, and then I can come back home and do a fake hike with my friends, throw them off a cliff, and have fun. It feels like if Nintendo made a hiking game where you talk with your friends, and maybe as a social gamer, that's all I need. Just give me more games where I can do stupid stuff with my friends. If I can build a house with my friends, if I can clean up a house with my friends, I guess. Just give me a simple task and let me do it with people I care about in a way that's fun, a little mischievous, and I guarantee you will have a good game on your hands. If you've played Peak, let me know your experience. And if you're thinking about picking it up, please absolutely do come back and let us know how you enjoyed it or what you hated or if you think I was accurate. Hopefully it gave you some insight and maybe an exciting new game to check out. As always, I'm Lonnie, and please do stay awesome.